How would life be different if you really deeply knew yourself? If you knew your deepest gifts, if you understood what your true genius was, if you really had a clear, distinct, easily articulated answer for this question of who am I? How am I special? What's unique about me? You can have that. You can have that. You can have that and you can have it really swiftly because the truth is internally, you know, but externally, you haven't been given the words yet. If you're like most of us, all your life, you've been trained and prepared and encouraged to be a certain thing, to be a certain way. It's often really dictated by your parents, your folks, your teachers, your uncle, your family, those around you that you respected that you wanted to emulate. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with emulating the people you deeply respect. But at a certain point, it's time to grow up and to step into the form of wisdom that is yours and yours alone, to step into the voice and the expression that is yours and yours alone. And I've found that the easiest way to do that isn't to just look at the external and to look at what you'd like to do or what you have been doing or to take a test that's just based on your personality, but rather to start at the beginning, to start with your soul. That's why I created the soul gift system. I look around and I see so many of us, myself included sometimes, we forget how we are unique. It's so easy, especially if you're empathic, if you're compassionate, if you feel other people, if you want to please other people. It's so natural for us to get drawn into what's not uniquely ours. It's easy for us to get sort of seduced into being what other people need us to be in that moment or what we think they need us. It's so easy to lose the path of your own soul's gifts, of your own intuitive genius type, to lose sight and to lose the center of this unique path that your soul came here to walk. So I just want to say that. And what happens when we do lose track of what our unique path is? Well, we end up doing work that's really not fit for us, and therefore we resent it. Therefore, we have a hard time making money with it. We have a hard time being recognized, being received, being paid well. Because even if you're close to what you kind of are here to do, if you're not in the middle of it, it's you don't feel as fulfilled. And when you don't feel so fulfilled, you have more of a tendency to feel drained, resentful, eye roll. You have more of a tendency to not bring your best genius, to not channel your deepest genius through. And when you don't channel your deepest genius through, you don't have as much of an impact, yada, yada, yada. And personally, what does it feel like? You know, because I'm sure you've walked it just as I have. When you don't focus on what is you, on what is yours, you feel an intrinsic misfit. You feel an intrinsic lack. You feel like you're close, but not quite. And you long for that sense of landing, that sense of integrity, that sense of true alignment. You long to find yourself, to know yourself, to be yourself and be fully received. You long to have the words that express to other people what you're here for, what you invite and what you hold at bay. Until you know these things, it's hard to hold boundaries. And when you can't hold boundaries, you end up carrying other people's emotions, other people's worries. You end up drawn into their dramas in ways that you don't really need to be. Trust me, I've walked this path myself, so I'm not holding judgment on humanity for not knowing this immediately and intrinsically. It's literally what I've spent the last 25 years of my life creating is a pathway that's simple, a step-by-step way for us to uncover, to discover, and to embody that which we intrinsically are in such a way that has clear language and deep humor and a full invitation to just be you and to know what that flippin' means. So, in honor of you, I'm going to share today that framework, those steps, and I want to invite you on this journey. And it's free. It's a free journey. I'm not selling you something right now. I feel that in these times where there's so much confusion and there's so much fake information and contradictory information and woof, like it's so overwhelming and exhausting just to try and learn these days, because which one is true and what's right for me and what isn't. The one thing that I feel I can really deliver swiftly, easily, because I've delivered it already to thousands of people with great success, is this knowing of how you're gifted, how you're special, of how you're different. And in teaching you this system, I'm also going to give you a framework to understand how other people are also different. Because when you're running a team at work, when you're running a family at home, when you're collaborating with friends on projects, if you don't have a framework to understand why and how these different people seem to think and speak and act so differently from you and from each other, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to have communication difficulties. And we've all had that. So let's talk about step number 1. Okay. I'm going to talk about step number 2, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and give you some free access to this system that has helped thousands of people to understand who they are and finally who they're not, what they're not meant for. Okay. Step number 1. Step number 1 is the soul gift system, the soul gift quiz. Now, maybe you've already taken my soul gift quiz. You can find it at soul, S-O-U-L, giftquiz.com, soulgiftquiz.com. And it'll take you 2 minutes to take this quiz. And maybe you took it a long time ago, but then you kind of forgot, or maybe you want to make sure. You can take it again. Don't worry. Go to soulgiftquiz.com. And you can take this quiz on your phone while you're listening to me explain the answers. That's the most efficient way to do this. And if you're like, I'm not taking a quiz, or you're driving and you're like, I can't take a quiz right now, I'm going to go through the types, the answers, so you can feel into them. But be warned, even as I describe the 5 soul gifts, that every single one of us, every single person in your life is one of these types of soul. When I describe these types of souls, these soul gifts, you might assume that you're one or the other. You might be wrong. And here's why. You have been trained your whole life, most likely, to be something that you're not intrinsically. That's why this cute little quiz with just 7 questions, it takes literally 2 minutes. Click, 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 click. Real quick, multiple choice. Very fun. Has pictures. This little quiz kind of cuts right through and underneath your defenses and your stories about what you should be or what you've trained to be, la, 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 la. And it works very well to identify what you actually are. And lots of people who take this quiz are surprised to find it out, but inside they recognize, like, oh, shoot, you're right. This quiz is right. And so it can be a reckoning. So that's your fair warning. And that's why I suggest that you take the quiz and not just listen to me explain and imagine, oh, I know exactly what type I am. We're going to go through these 5 types. And after we help you identify what your soul gift type is and what that means, then I'm going to talk about the 4 different types of intuitive genius that we all channel. And again, there's an assessment. Now, what's cool is if you take the soul gift quiz, you're going to get an email after you've integrated the soul gift quiz. In a couple days, you'll get a link to the genius assessment. So it's important that you do the soul gift quiz first. So that's why I'm giving that to you. And then you're going to take the genius assessment. It layers on. Okay. And then I'll tell you about the 3rd one. So what's cool is with these three things, knowing these three things, you're going to really know yourself in a clean, clear, easily spoken about way. Ready? The 5 soul gifts. Which one of these are you? And who in your life is each one of these? So I'm going to talk about the creators first, because their souls were born first. I like to think of it that way. The creator in your life, or yourself, is the person who their whole life has intrinsically known how things work. It's like as if they were there when the whole world was created. And even as a kid, they are a little bit of like a know-it-all. But while some people might call them like know-it-all, like it's a bad thing, truth is they kind of know it all. Intrinsically, they know a lot. So a creator type tends to be really great and natural with systems, with even complex systems are like duh to them. And they like to create and they like to critique. Of course they can critique. It's one of their deepest gifts to critique. Now you might be thinking of someone in your life who's a bit of a know-it-all and critiques you. And if there's someone that you have to acknowledge, like they do often know stuff, their critique might be irritating sometimes if you're sensitive to it, but also, gosh darn it, these people know something. They know, they're often right. Do you know someone like this? And sometimes they have trouble collaborating with others because they're so used to being right that on the off chance they're not right, they have a hard time surrendering and working with a team. Creators are the type that when they take my soul gift quiz, they write me an email telling me how I should have done it better, how there should be another type, or how they would have written it this way, or the questions aren't written clearly enough. And so I'm used to that, and that's cool. And I welcome all feedback, but it usually lets me know if they answer me in that way that they probably are a creator soul gift. Creators need to be respected. And I have so much more that I want to tell you about each soul gift type. And I promise you, if you take the quiz, I'll send you a lot of information on the different types. So I'll save that for that. I'll save that for that moment. Just take the quiz and you can choose to give me your email. And that way you'll get your full results report, and you'll also get more info on all the types, and you'll also get the link to the genius assessment. And you'll be like, we'll be in communication. You can just write me back if you have a question. That's another fun thing to do. But I need to move on because otherwise we'll be here all the time on creators. So, but that gives you the gist, right? The next type I want to talk to you about are the messengers. I'm a messenger type. We tend to be the translators. We tend to be wordsmiths and word nuts. We tend to be chatty. We tend to be talkative, or at least when we do talk, it's important to us that people listen. Do you have a friend who is the one who's always putting things to words? And maybe also they get really irritated if you interrupt them? Like more irritated than others of your friends? They're probably a messenger. This is the kid who would stand up on the coffee table with a microphone and be like, everyone, I need to tell you what's happening. You know what I mean? Like that need to express through words. And messengers often, when in right alignment, are speakers, teachers, coaches, communicators, preachers, that sort of thing. Okay. Creators, when they're in their right thing, creators often grow up to be engineers, managers, executives, founders, creators with their hands, like all kinds of things. So that's kind of a hint as to those two. Okay. Now let's talk about transmitters. I was kind of like waiting to talk about transmitters because transmitters are the souls who are here just to emanate a certain healing or evolutionary frequency. That's different, isn't it? Transmitters are literally like transmission towers. They are souls that come into the human body to emanate through that body a certain energy that changes people and things. How different is that from the creator ones who are the systems people and the leaders, and the messenger ones who are the diplomats and the speakers? Transmitters are too often invisible in this world and undervalued in this world because their gift, their primary gift, exudes from them as a transmission. Now that can sound super woo, and I say it, and it is, frankly, quite amazingly woo, but it's also really normal. Think about the friend that you have that their juju is just so good that everybody just wants to be around them. Imagine the friend that you have, maybe it's your yoga teacher or your massage therapist, that sometimes you think to yourself, well, I would go to their class or lay on their massage table just to sort of bask in their healing juju. Like, it doesn't matter what they teach me or how they work modalities on me. It's like their presence has a certain feeling that just always lifts me up, or always helps me release, or always challenges me to the next level of myself. That is how we speak about transmitters in everyday language. But transmitters are also the most sensitive soul gift type. It's like, in order to emanate this transmission that they're here glowing into the world, they have to have this very refined and sensitive system. Their bodies tend to be more sensitive. They tend to need their practices and their whole foods and their meditation and their yoga and stuff like that more than the other types that might be a little hardier. And so transmitters are sometimes not respected, quite frankly, because some people might look at transmitters and go, oh, you're such a diva, or oh, you're such a sensitive flower. And yeah, I just want to hang out around you, but I'm not going to pay you because you're not doing one of the things that we pay people for. So that's why transmitters, when I'm doing business mentoring, because I am a leadership mentor for intuitive people, I work with a lot of transmitters, or messengers with a transmitter secondary, or creators with a transmitter secondary, or researchers who I haven't talked about who have a transmitter secondary. I work with people who have this, at least part of them can relate with this emanation, this sensitivity, this deep empathy gift that's also feels like a curse sometimes, because it means sometimes it's hard to hold boundaries against a painful world, right? Anyways, transmitters need to do extra strategizing around business, because how do you put it into words when you are a business leader or a founder or an entrepreneur? How do you put it into words? The tremendous value of your transmission, of your emanation. How do you build a business framework and a languaging of your expertise, whether you are an employee, an executive, a founder, a business owner? How do you put words to this emanation that makes people receive it and pay you well for it? This is a challenge I spend a lot of my time mentoring on. And actually, I have a whole a suite of courses on how to market when you're sensitive like this, how to put language to it, how to create systems like quizzes and stuff like I have to draw people into your emanation and let them self-select. But that's a whole nother story. It's part of my world. So in that respect, it's not another story. And if you want more about that, come and ask me. Just write me back from the quiz, because I'm right here for you. But I do want to say, you transmitters, you transmitters, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this world and this culture can't see you yet effortlessly. I know that past cultures would have identified you early in life as being an emanation, and they would have brought you into the temple and honored you for the role that you play, fed you and educated you and took good care of you, because back then we got it that if we took really good care of our transmitters, they would emanate, and their emanation would heal humanity. And this culture, not so much, doesn't totally get that yet. So I kind of want to like apologize you and say, I see you and I want to help you. And there are many more of us here who know what you are and who value you and who really want to support you, knowing that you help make this world better in your own invisible way. Okay. Yes, transmitters get a little special appreciation in my world over the messengers, because messengers, everyone can already hear you. They can hear you. You can communicate really easily. Transmitters need help from messengers like me, like you, to find the words. Creators, dude, you know how to create your own world. You don't need that special affirmation. So we who are not transmitters, I think we have a responsibility and an honor to also recognize transmitters and to support them. Let's talk about the other two types before moving on to step 2. There's the researchers, the researcher souls. These are the souls, like my son, actually, Colin, who are here to make sense of what's in this world. And they often have also a gift for reporting that back. It's different than the messenger gift. It's not quite as poetic. It's more like, hey, you guys, this is what's actually happening. So in a time when this world is full of fakeness and misleading information, our researchers who see things clearly, who don't get pulled off so easily by their emotions as the other types do. They still have emotions. They're still deeply feeling people, but they're just not pulled off center by them. We need to be listening to our researchers. And then finally, there's the explorer types. And the explorer soul gift types are the ones who are here to push the boundaries. They're here embodied as souls to test the limits. And these are your friends who you know who are just constantly traveling and trying something new and like shaving their heads and trying polyamory and like trying all the alternative ways of living. And they get bristly if they feel like they're being trapped or categorized, which is why some explorers take the soul gift quiz and they feel like, oh, good, you see me. And others are like, I just don't want to be quizzed. Like, I don't want to be categorized. I don't like it. And that's totally cool too. So those are those are the 5 soul gift types. And if you did take the quiz, it's soulgiftquiz.com and enter your email so that I can send you your full results report and other information on your soul gift. You're going to get a lot more information on like, what are your deep needs for your soul's gift? Your soul's gift has particular needs, and I already talked about some of them. Like the messengers need to be listened to and not interrupted. Like the transmitters need to have extra care for their body and their nervous system. And there's more for all 5 types. There's different needs. So you'll get more information on that and your strengths and your weaknesses and how to identify them if you're a team leader. So we don't have time to go in all of that right now, but I'm hoping that here's step 1. As you've taken the quiz and learned, oh, wow, I'm this type. Especially if it's been revealed to you that you're a transmitter, that's usually a big heart kind of experience for people if that's what happens. Then I just want to encourage you to take a few moments to sit with what that really means and to recognize in your life, oh, which soul gift after listening to these 5 were my parents trying to make me into? Which ones were my education trying to make me into? Which ones were projected on me because that's who the people I cared about, that's what they were? Which one is my partner, and therefore which one am I pressured a little bit to live into? This is a first step to discovering who you are, what you are, and it can be very powerful. So just know that the soul gift quiz is totally free. And if you do that and go on that journey with me, you'll get a lot more of this. But I wanted to give you this here right now. What soul gift are you? Okay. And I do also have a genius revealer, which is a class that it's it's $29 that takes you through that. Not only that, but also what's your secondary soul gift, and therefore what's your right role, which gives you more information. It's a little more complicated, so I can't just deliver it here, nor can I give it to you free in the soul gift quiz email. So you'll get some hints of it. But if you're like, whoa, I want to do more, you could do the Genius Revealer. It's under $30. Okay. Next up, step 2, your genius type. Now, genius is a word that gets used in our culture, usually talking about rich guys, usually talking about intellectual smarts and the ability to innovate things and to create new patents or whatever. But I'm not sure that that's, well, let me just be honest. I don't like that definition of the word genius, because to me, the word genius is rooted, not just to me, but in the etymology of the word genius, the origin of the word genius. It comes from the word genie, like it comes from the Arabic, and the root of the word is the spirit that flows through. This wise, brilliant, magical, like the part of us that is miraculous that flows through us. And that I like, because I witness that everyone has moments where genius flows through them. Even little kids. Have you ever seen this? Like a little kid just like playing around, and then they just like, something happens and they say something so wise. And you're like, whoa, that was deep, kid. You're an old soul. Okay, that was a moment where their genius popped through. And there's moments for you. Maybe it's when you're in the shower, when you're on vacation, or like sometime when you are relaxed, or when you're in love, where you have the big aha idea that just lands, or where you have this moment where you feel one with everything, or you have this moment where you just intrinsically know what's right. You feel it in your bones. These are all our genius moments. For me, these are the moments where genius is channeling through us. And so when we talk about genius, I'm interested in that. And so guess what? Developed a system for you to explore that, not just in its, genius as a general term, but 4 types of intuitive genius. Intuitive, like genius coming into you. Genius coming up from your belly's knowing, from your gut feeling, that intuitive, intrinsic genius that comes through. And there's 4 types. And we are all practiced and gifted at different ones of these 4 types at different levels. So after you take the soul gift quiz and you're getting the emails, you're going to get an email with the link to the genius assessment. That one will actually give you scores in each of these 4 types of genius. It's a pretty complex survey, but I'm very proud of myself, by the way, for creating these things. I really am, because they've helped so many people put words to what we long to put words to, but didn't have the language for. Can you imagine what a thrill that is for a messenger like me? Holy tamales. It's very fun. So right now, I want to introduce you to these 4 types of genius. Genius type number 1. Embodied genius. Embodied of the body. Your body right now has wisdom. It knows things. And if you learn to listen and pay attention into this body, it will show you what is the way and what is not the way. Have you ever played the game of feeling into the body when you're making a decision, to feel, oh, does that feel light and bubbly like a yes? Or does that feel heavy and full of dread in my body like a hell no? That's embodied wisdom. That's embodied genius speaking. How about your gut feeling? How do you feel your gut feeling when you say, I got a gut feeling? It's often in your belly that you feel your embodied genius. And those who are wise, who want to develop this embodied genius, they probably do practices like in their workout staying present in their body and feeling the body, or doing yoga, or breathing consciously. There's lots of breath work practices where we breathe consciously and we pay attention to the sensations and the knowing in the body. These are all forms of embodied genius. And as we practice and as we develop embodied genius, we develop mojo. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the leader who, when they walk in the room, everybody kind of feels it and looks at them. And no matter what they look like, if they look like, some ideal of beauty, or if they don't look like some ideal of beauty, there is a feeling of like, whoa, this person is here. Like, this person is attractive. There's a magnetism in the way they hold themselves. And I would put it to you that the best speakers, the best performers have high levels of embodied genius because they are so present in the body, that their wisdom flows in the body. And that mojo is palpable. It inspires trust. It inspires respect. And so when I'm teaching inside my leaders mentorship, when I'm teaching business owners, founders, executives, people who are leading, that's part of their role, is to lead other human beings. We spend time the first quarter actually of the year, because these lay out against a map. I'll show you that in step 3. I'll show you the map and the calendar for this, because that's also important. We spend time opening that up with simple practices and with clearings and with teaching, so that you understand your own embodied genius and how to open it and use it in your life. So that's just number 1. Number 2, remember there's 4 types of embodied genius. Number 1 is 4 types of intuitive genius. Number 1 is embodied. Number 2, creative genius. Creative genius is the connection with the ideational realm that allows you to have a great idea drop in. It's your ability, when your channel is open, when you're relaxed, to download the solution to a problem. Have you ever noticed that you can hammer away at a problem and think about it and work on it and puzzle around it? But it's not until you let it go and go down and take a nap, and then as you're waking up in that liminal realm, boom, the solution drops in. Elizabeth Gilbert's wonderful book, Big Magic, talks all about how ideas are like longing for us, and they land with us and they wait, and if we latch on. But she described that process as being something that comes and goes at will, and that you can't make it happen, and you can't make it happen when you want. And I as I was reading that book, I was like, you're half right. And there are wisdom schools and practices that have been making it happen for eons. And yes, you can consciously open your channel in such a way that your creative genius drops in the new ideas, as many new ideas as you want. It's not even hard. And inside the leaders mentorship, we do that inside even inside the activation circle, which is the program I've got for less than $50 a month right now. And it's probably going up. So if you're watching this and it's already gone up, sorry, but like my 2 programs, activation circle and then leaders mentorship, is a lot more robust and personal, lots of personal attention in that one, just FYI. But in there, we focus here on opening that channel so that great ideas land at will, so that you are collaborating with your genius. So right now, without joining any of my programs, if you don't want to, just know that when you are in your relaxed, open state, when you are in a place where you are not resisting the ideational realm, where you are open and where you are grounded, because you also got to be grounded, those ideas will drop in. And you can foster that mindset. Absolutely. for me, it was improvisation training, and I include some of that in what I do, because improv, saying yes to everything, that yes, that openness is what opens the creative genius channel. So that's creative genius number 2. So as I'm talking about this, you're probably going, oh yeah, I'm good with this one, or that one I know I need work on. That's cool. That's part of the process. Don't beat yourself up about it. None of us are totally perfect in all 4 geniuses. Like, this human journey is a journey, right? We're constantly developing these. But isn't it wonderful to have words for them? Okay, let's talk about the third form of intuitive genius. That is relational genius. Sometimes I call it integrative genius. It's the genius that allows us to flow not only our own genius, but allows us to feel the genius in the room or in the other person we're relating with. It allows us to feel, to soak up, to learn, and to synthesize and share this combined wisdom. So this is the one that you're using when you're working with your partner and you're realizing that the two of you are very different. Your perspectives are very different, but there's a place where your genius meets. There's a place that you come together, and that is relational genius. It's when you know, oh, well, my partner's a know-it-all creator type. I'm a very sensitive messenger type. He's going to have a perspective on this problem that is pragmatic, systems-oriented, and critical. I'm going to have a perspective on this problem we're working on, or this project, that is intuitive, relational, compassionate, maybe future-oriented. So together, when those come together, can I feel the combination of the two as well as just my own? Aha, that's relational genius. And that is I think, a necessary for someone who leads teams. So I work with this a lot with my executive clients and my leader clients and my speaker clients. How do you read a room as a speaker? How do you read the audience? How do you know they're all with you? That's your relational genius. How do you sense when someone on the team is going off and you need to give them some extra support? That's relational genius. And so feeling the field, the relational field, is relational genius. Okay? And there's a time of year for that too. I'll show you when we get to the map and the calendar. Now, finally, visionary genius. Visionary genius is one of 4 types of intuitive genius. When I say intuitive, I don't just mean the most woo-woo cosmic hoo-ha. I also mean the embodied wisdom of your gut knowing. I also mean the connected aha ability of your creative genius. I also mean the integrative, synthesizing, weaving relational field awareness of relational genius. And now we get to the one that people think of when I say intuitive, which is visionary genius. That's the ability to connect across the veil, to be able to feel subtle energies, and to be able to utilize them in real life. So when I'm talking about visionary genius, I'm not talking about flying off with aliens or, ascending to the angels and leaving the earth. What a waste of a lifetime. You got time for that after you die. Right now, it's about tapping those visionary genius energies, the energies of pure potential, the energies of the futuristic help coming to help us now to innovate. The energies of the land spirits, of the land where you live, that can create a connection and a fertility in your life that you could barely dream of, because we don't speak to the land spirits anymore like I think we all should. It's part of what I teach. It's part of why I guide retreats on sacred lands, because the land spirits are just waiting to play with us in the highest good, devoted to love, devoted to all the best stuff. So working with spirit consciously to create good change for all the best reasons right here in this world, that's visionary genius. And while some people want to put that in a box as well, no, that's spirituality, and we only do that inside of our religious constructs. Well, really? I mean, it's also just part of us. Spirit, inspiration, expiration. Spirit is with us in every single breath. So while you can honor your traditions and your religion and your ceremonies, that's all great. But also, you're naturally connected to the spirit of all that is. And our indigenous wisdoms of all of our blood lineages have known this and have utilized it. I remember when I first started working, learning with Maria Yesbrew, my Apache teacher, I remember I was just newly changed from being a lawyer, and a Catholic, or I should say Catholic only, to seeing spirit and to noting that, the angels and the angels of the earth and the fairies and these energies that we imagine and we feel and we've been relating with for thousands of years, they're all real. Oh my gosh, they're real. I guess we can use them in the real life. And Maria was laughing. She's like, Mellissa, if you grew up on the land, on the White Mountains Reservation where I grew up, she said, and you had to go out and hunt rabbit to find the meal for the evening, you had to be able to see behind a rock. You had to be able to feel where the spirit of that animal was hiding. You had to be able to find water in the desert when you would go out for days and, need water. You had to be able to see beyond the seen, to see the unseen in order to survive. And I realized, oh my gosh, there's nothing more pragmatic and useful than seeing beyond the veil, than seeing what we've forgotten how to see. And we don't need to limit that only to the priests in the temple and the church and the things, because that's not it. It's natural and intrinsic to us. And so that's the sort of visionary genius I'm talking about. And when it's open in your life as a leader, you feel it like tingles up your spine. You feel it like an uncanny knowing of what's going to happen next. You feel it like a loving hug of support from your blessed ancestors who are still with you in love, even though they've passed beyond. This stuff is normal. It's normal and it's in us. And I have loved creating a system that normalizes it and that creates these pathways that anybody can step into their soul gift. Anybody can develop these 4 types of intuitive genius and use them in their very real lives while staying grounded, while staying in integrity, while still being responsible grown-up adults. And we can share them together in different ways. Okay, that covers step number 2. Which type of these 4 geniuses are you already really using in your life? What are you gifted for? And sometimes when I express them, people say, well, sometimes I get those feelings, those tickles up the spine of my visionary genius, but I lock them out because they scare me. And I go, oh, darn. Why do they scare you? Well, somebody told me a story that they must be evil. Oh, wow. So Creator gave you a gift of knowing that's evil? Like, does that even make sense to you? And so it may open up questions in you about some of the stories you've been told, stories that have implanted shame in you for your natural God-given gifts. And that's up to you to discern what feels like love. I trust you, and I think everyone in your life should trust you. That's how I feel about it. Step number 3. Step number 3 is one that we haven't talked about in school. It's the one that puts you in perfect timing. It's the one that makes manifestation and creation and healing happen at perfect timings. It's like a secret, and I'm going to share it with you now. Okay, I mapped it out. This is my Wheel of Wisdom map. It's a calendar, it's a medicine wheel, and it is literally a map of how energy moves through the creative cycle and how you move through your year. Now, if you take the soul gift quiz, I will give you this in an email too. This will come to you in an email. It's kind of fun. It's my way of just sharing all my best stuff for free with you if you take the quiz, because I think everyone should have access to this information. Now, the people in my programs, this is also basically the curriculum. And what you're seeing there, those words are archetypes. Those are the archetypes for each month and for each step along the way of developing your 4 types of intuitive genius. So on this map, we've got the green starting with architect in January, February adventurer, March creative creature. These are the embodied genius months and archetypes that we live into. And then we have our creative genius ones. The sovereign, the fool, and the co-creator are the ones that you activate in yourself to have more creative genius in your life. And then we have the purple ones are relational genius. That's the specialist, the contributor, and the sage. And these are the ones around business, by the way. These are the ones that help you identify what business you should really be in, what fits you, and what you should not be doing in business. And then inside that inner circle, the ones that are in grays, they're in the inner circle because that's the winter. That's the underworld. That's the drawing in time. That's also the best time to develop your visionary genius abilities. Now, you can develop your abilities in any old month, but in terms of what flows with the seasons, you've got embodied genius first quarter, creative genius second quarter when things are heating up and it's summertime, relational genius third quarter when it's the fall and the time of harvest and connection. And you have the visionary genius in the winter months where you go inward and you cross the veil and start working directly with spirit in your own unique way, in whatever way flows with your beliefs and your traditions and your religion. And, you know, that we're talking about intrinsic abilities to talk to spirit, to pray with God and to hear God speaking back, which is our birthright, no matter what your religion is. So those are the 3 steps. And this third step about really working with the seasons and noticing the cycles of you, of your life, noticing the way cycles move in you, your timing. This is the third step to really knowing who and what you are. Because not everybody works in exactly the same way. Not everybody releases in the same way. Not everybody creates in the same way. And so when we work through those archetypes and work through those cycles, every single one of those archetypes is a different face of you. So when we are working with the sovereign archetype, the part of you that's like a king or a queen or a sovereign ruler, the part of you that says yes to what you want to say yes to and no to what you want to say no to, that has clear discernment without influence of others, it's going to be different because you are unique. So when you explore each one of these archetypes, then you really know yourself in all the different faces. And as we move through the archetypes on that map I just showed you in my programs, and you're guided to explore like your own sovereign type, your own fool type, we get to know each other's many faces. And sometimes you come upon one of those faces that has been hiding or feels injured. And you get to reclaim a part of yourself that has been hiding. And we get to provide you the safe circle and community and support and clearing and healing to do that. And it is so wonderful to do it together. So this third step, yes, it's about honoring your cycles, honoring all the different faces of you. And it's also about community. It's about connecting in community and noticing not just your own soul gift and your own intuitive genius type, but learning about them so that you can see them in other people. And it will help you so much as you discover yourself to understand and feel, that person is different. Here's how. Now I can feel relaxed and comfortable in being different than them. That's cool. So we all deserve to know ourselves. We all deserve to be seen. We all deserve to have the words that are clear in our minds that we can keep coming back to. What's your soul gift? What's your soul gift? I have to keep reminding myself I'm a messenger. I need to write. I need to write. I need to speak. I love it. It lights me up. If you're a transmitter, you have to keep reminding yourself, I am a sensitive transmitter. I need to take care of myself. I need to make enough money that I can give myself the things that will take care of me so that I can transmit my gift in this world, because that's what fulfills me and that's what makes the impact I came here to make. So no matter what your type, your soul gift, reminding yourself of that, coming together, sharing it with other people, being honest about your type, your needs, your strengths, and your weaknesses, super helpful. Likewise, identifying which of these 4 types of intuitive genius, embodied, creative, relational, visionary, which ones you've already got really strong and you want to share them more, which ones you're kind of limited and you would love some support growing in, which ones you've got but you want to go to mastery in them and you want to be around other people who see them in you, who recognize this in you and each other, who value growing in these underlying foundational aspects of leadership. Yeah, I've come on in. We've got the community and we've got the activation circle. You can meet with us every week. You can watch the recordings. You can tap the online courses, all that develop these 4 types of intuitive genius for you in your way. Or if you're a leader, come on in. Come on in. I've got a mentorship for you that, yes, could be an entrepreneurial business building, marketing thing. We've got that department. We've also got all this leadership development for professionals who are inside of organizations where you want to bring your gifts forward in a way that fits within that culture, gets you the raise, gets you the respect, and gets you the results with your team that you really want. The leaders mentorship holds that. That's that container for you. And it includes personalized sessions, and it includes, all kinds of personal attention. So this isn't a pitchy thing, but I just wanted to let you know, like, here's a resource for you. And there's other resources in the world to develop these things. Set your sights on developing your gifts, your genius, and tapping into your right cycle so that you can feel in perfect alignment in time, in your gifts, in your genius, in your community. If these are things that you've felt in your heart for a long time, or that you do with your own work, I want you to know you're not alone. And I also want you to know that these are the things that are going to carry us into a hopeful future. I truly believe that. And that leaders who hold these things are the leaders we need now. These are the leaders who have always been the deepest, most respected, most embodied, most connected, most powerful and inspirational leaders. This is a place to grow in that level of leadership that you didn't learn in school. Even if you went to Stanford like me, even if you went to Yale or whatever business school, they didn't teach you this stuff. It's time to learn it now, to give yourself the space to grow in it in your own way, non-dogmatic. Don't go towards dogma. Stay with your own unique gifts, your own unique genius, your own unique way, and choose containers and mentorships that will foster you following your own unique way. That's part 3. And this has been your deep dive into the soul gift system with me, the intuitive genius system, and the channel your genius system. So if you want more, I'm here for you. If you want to just do the free thing, feel free. Soul gift quiz, share it with your people. It's time for all of us to know who we are and what our souls came here to do, so that we can channel our genius with ease and delight and prosperity. Now's the time for leaders like us. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'm Mellissa Seaman. Come find me at channelyourgenius.com.